Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing good. Yeah, we have a new moon in Aries tomorrow. Aries is the first sign within the astrological chart wheel. Aries is a fire sign. When I think of Aries, I think of I want. So fully, wholeheartedly, passionately going after what I want. And not really thinking twice about it. The energy of Aries is super, super bold as well, fiery. Yeah, and I think with this new moon, as Aries is that embodiment of going after what we want, that is meaning that we are taking action. So with this new moon, I was feeling like Source was, I guess, wanting us to rehash with ourselves what our intentions are and the action that we are pairing with that intention. So this could even be written down like in journal, on your journal, on a piece of paper, writing down each intention that you have for whatever area of your life. So you could be like your emotional well-being, your spiritual well-being, physical well-being, even financial, material well-being, what your intentions are and how you're going to pour into those parts of yourself, and actually have that mapped out action. Yeah, there was also the question of what are we doing daily. So yeah, that's a question I guess we can sit with. Okay, so I will pull some cards now for us. Source Spirit, what guidance you have for us in this new moon in Aries. Source Spirit, what guidance you have for us, the collective, in this new moon in Aries. We have the Blue Heron. Make a stand for what you believe in and do what feels right in spite of any judgment or disapproval from others. Yeah, this makes me think of, and then we have the Penguin. The period of darkness that you've been experiencing is now passing on the base of the deck, the bottom of the deck. So with the Heron, this reminds me of that kind of Aries energy again, or just really embodying who we are and doing that regardless of what anyone's going to think, what anyone's going to say, and just being authentic to ourselves, and also going after what we're desiring authentically without taking on the projections or judgments of other people or the things, and even looking deep within ourselves at the things that we have kind of digested or taken on as ours that actually aren't to carry. Especially there may be some things that we're trying to achieve or create for ourselves, or be a part of, that could seem a little bit intimidating, or yeah, just maybe where we feel like we could potentially be being judged for it. But I guess Source is just reminding us as a collective that I feel like, yeah, like all we can do is be our authentic selves at the end of the day, and someone is always going to judge or disapprove of something that we do. Yeah, I feel like maybe some of us have also really integrated some lessons with this Penguin card. So that might be, well, it doesn't have to be lessons, but just like really delved into and looked at the lighter side of something and looked at the shadow side of something. And so with this moon, if you feel like you need to like look at or delve deep into the shadow side of something. So that could be like the wounds, the trauma, or anything really, codependency, any habits that aren't helpful, any patterns that are blocking the intentions that you have. Whatever needs to be balanced out really is kind of what I'm seeing, is that source is asking us to look at what needs to be balanced out and balance it out. So that we can continue to move forward and be bold in whatever we're doing individually and collectively with each other. I see and feel like in collaboration as well. But yeah, I feel like there's like a real stance about this card. And I also just saw 555. So to me, that kind of means change. And the shadow side of that is chaos. And so, yeah, I guess for me, with my resonance with the number 5, when this change is happening and things are shifting and moving, it can be quite intense. And there can be a lot of things that are being pulled down. And so as we're going through different changes collectively and individually, rebuilding some of the structures that have been dismantled, it's important for us to continue to go back and look at the things that need balancing and the intention and rebalance. And so I feel like Source is also saying this isn't a one-time thing. So after this new moon, maybe making it a regular thing, or if you feel called to keep checking in and keep balancing out and looking at those intentions. And I guess that's why maybe Source has encouraged us to write those things down, so we have a clear understanding and insight and overview of things that we can come back to. Okay, Source Spirit, what guidance do you have for us, the collective, in this new moon in the Aries? Source Spirit, what guidance do you have for us, the collective, in this new moon in the Aries? Source Spirit, what guidance do you have? Okay, so we have Undines and Mermaids and Ace of Water. So lots of watery energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And we have the Guardian Angel on the deck, on the base of the deck, which is actually Sagittarius energy, but yeah, I guess always resonates with water too. There's so much healing that is accessible to us at this time, and like within this moon. A lot of lightness, I feel, and playfulness. If some of us have the opportunity to be around like children or people that make us or allow us to connect with our inner child, especially if we're feeling a little bit heavy or chaotic or something, that's really encouraged. I feel like it's also really encouraged for us to connect with our inner child, and to set intention to do that as well, as a practice, as a ritual. Yeah, maybe that's where a lot of us are potentially imbalanced, is more within that aspect. We haven't been paying enough attention to that side of us, or that playfulness as well, or there might be some healing there, or this could also be so this could also be a creative idea that like really brings us joy in an emotional way. But there's something here that we are beginning to connect with, or have the potential to connect with, that could really bring us some joy and playfulness. And I feel like this energy is also quite cheeky as well. So Allowing that energy to come up is important. And yeah, with undines and mermaids, this is about compassion, calm, comfort, being really connected to the emotions and intuition, and being nurturing for self, to self, and towards others. But yeah, there's something really strong about children, child, or inner child coming through within this moon. And I keep hearing this week in general. So yeah, connecting with those around us as well that make us feel like these things that I have just described. So calm, comforted, peaceful, nurtured. Especially if we're not feeling very patient, because this new beginning or freshness within our emotions, or new opportunity, or even new connection that makes us feel nurtured or comforted, and allows us the space and room to be able to express those parts of ourselves, are going to require patience and learning. With this card, I always say learning the alchemy within our emotions. So not only how to manage your emotions, but also how to transmute emotion, or take certain feelings or things that we are moving through and turn that into something fresh. So that could be like expressing something through poetry or music or art, or creating something with our hands, something that brings us emotional fulfillment and connects us to our inner child, and that sense of peace and nurturing, and peace and nurture that also connects us to our intuition. Yeah, intuition just being that inner voice that is within the emotions. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of healing within this action, activity, connecting to self, and yeah, compassion seems like a big theme. Moving in higher compassion and patience with ourselves, our emotional process, and our healing as well. Yeah, and we also have the earth element. So yeah, it looks like that will keep, or doing these things, or being within this energy actively, will keep us grounded through whatever changes, or whatever things we are moving towards. It doesn't really matter like where we are individually within our movement or journey. And doing the things that we need to do within this time frame to ground us. So maybe even naming the things within during this moon, naming the things that ground us. Some of us might need to be a little bit more grounded, or set intention to be a little bit more grounded, or connect to earth more, connect to nature, even connect to the home space and like refresh the home. Yeah, so I think I will leave that there for today. So we had the blue heron, which was reminding us to, I guess, stay in our power, and to not take on any judgment or projections or disapproval from others. We also had the penguin, which was, I guess, letting us know that there was an integration happening between our shadow and light side, and that balance is important. and that we're moving out of any past heaviness as well, or have the potential to move out of any past heaviness. And then with these three, a reminder, I guess, for us within this moon to connect to our inner child and playfulness, with calm. What's the other word that I'm thinking of? Compassion. And to do things that are comforting for us, comforting for our inner child, to be patient with ourselves, to remember that we're learning and navigating. This is also a reminder that we're protected as well within the navigating of our emotions. So if any of us have been a little bit fearful of moving through our emotional body because it could be overwhelming, or could even be potential dissociation or disconnection from certain emotion, whatever it may be, sources calling us to go a little bit deeper with this moon, and not to be afraid of the flow and feelings that are coming through, because they will also pass. And lastly, grounding, staying grounded, and being intentional about our grounding this week and moving forward. So yeah, sending you all heaps of love, and happy new moon.